So what we have here is one of the better ways to fog a modern EFI snowmobile. This is done right now on an XCR 800 because it's older motor. It's easier to get at the components and get the tube actually into the crankcase. Not really into the crankcase, but into the actual transfer port. And when I say transfer port, the cylinders themselves have ports on the side that allow air and fuel to get up in there. And what you'll be able to see, if I move the piston up and down a little bit, let's see, let's get this thing out of the way. It's actually already out of the way, but right back in that corner you'll see an actual little hole, a little oil valley. And what that allows is that oil to get down into the bearings, and the bearings are the most important part that you want to get fogged. That's where all the stuff filters down to, all the water, all the junk, everything that you want the fogging oil to get into. That's the main area. Now, I had already tested this out, so I had, you can kind of see just a very little bit of a film on here, and that's not the piston making a noise. It's actually my clutch rubbing against the oiler on the carb boot. But let's see, you can see just ever so slightly film on there. I run synthetic oil, and there is essentially no film on this engine. And you want a good film. You can kind of see it on the crankshaft right there where it connects to the connecting nut. Now the proper way to do this is you'll take about a 6-inch long tube, jam it down into the spark plug with the piston at bottom dead center. Now there's two ways to do that. One, you can take the carbs off, or the EFI, the boots off, the reeds off. Look in there, and then you'll know when your piston is at bottom dead center. At that point, you just could spray fogging oil in there. But this way is one of the ways that northstarrick on Hardcore Sledder suggested. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this thing, and I'm going to cheat and look over here, get that thing at bottom dead center, so you see how it went down. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sit there, up there it just went. What you want to do is you want to sit there and kind of twist it around so that you get it down into the transfer port. And I've got a 220 cylinder here from a Polaris XC700. You should always look at the exhaust side, even if it has a good compression ratio, because this one pulled about 130, and as you can see, it's just scored to hell. But these ports right here where my thumb actually is are where you want to get into, because those go down into the oil area, or the bearing area. So, after you've got that, let's see, you take your fogging oil, you get this ready. Take that. Now this is the tricky part. You don't want to lose this, like I just freaking did there. You don't want to lose this little stem in this tube. I lost it once. I had to go into the crankcase and dig it out that way. Luckily I have some specialized tools, and I was able to get it out. But you take your fogging oil, and these things can be a little bit of a pain to hold on. Take that, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Squirt it in there for about 5 to 10 seconds, and what you'll see, hopefully, you hold this thing in there. Come on, baby. you should see oil starting to come down into that crankcase. And that's what you want. You want that oil getting down onto those bearings on there. So this is doing it on one side. You're going to take the, I'm going to squirt it again here, and hopefully we'll be able to see this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, you can see that oil coming down. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So you can see that oil getting down in there. You can see it dripping down. Now you do this on all your cylinders. I'm going to have to do it 3 because I've got a triple cylinder, and triples are the greatest engine ever created for a sled. But you do it on one side. So I've done it on the mag side of the PTO cylinder, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tube up and route it on the PTO side of the PTO cylinder. So I'm going to do that right now. Push it down. Now, since there's 2 bearings on the outside, I'm probably going to spray it for about 20 seconds because there's more, or about 20 squirts. There's a lot more surface area that you want to get done. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right. So now that I've done that, let's see. Should be able to see hopefully some oil coming down on that transfer port. If not, it came out the front and it doesn't. This is my plug for the front exhaust pipe. It doesn't look like it did, so what I'm going to do is just pull that out, put it right there, put this back here. What you're going to see now, get that guy out of the way so it doesn't make, damn it. What you should see, yeah, you're starting to see some oil film on the actual crankcase. This on the counterweights of the crankshaft. Okay, this PTO cylinder is done. I'm going to have to do the same procedure for the center and the mag. Once they're all prepped, then you are going to start the motor, run it for about 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. It'll smoke like hell, and then you shut it off. And what happens is that the oil that's actually in there gets thrown out all over the place and sticks to it. And it creates a very thick, it creates a film to prevent rust and corrosion on the actual metal parts. That's the purpose of fogging though. Not regular motor oil. Fogging oil is a purpose oil. The only purpose for it is to coat parts to prevent corrosion. This is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to fog a sled, especially an EFI sled. Just pull out the plugs, run your tube down there. I think mine's about probably 6 inches long, so it's not a top dead center, but let's see, we'll get that guy down to the bottom. Okay, and you can also do it this way. You can just put it on there, and okay, so it's not moving it down anymore. So I got it in there. I know it's in the fogging and the transfer port. And then over here, you can see how it fit in the, it went down. You'll be able to feel it go down in there. And you just sit there, you hold on to the little red tube on the fogging oil and sit there and squirt and squirt and squirt. Don't want that little red tube to fall in there because it'll fall all the way into that crankcase. But this is the best way. Fogging oil is a purpose-driven oil, and it is the best way to secure your sled for next winter. Ride hard, ride safe, have a good rest of the summer. Peace out.